All right, hello everyone, and welcome to our 12th Parent University. For this evening's presentation, we're just going to give families a quick overview on using Home Access Center. So probably the first question you might have is really, what is Home Access Center? So Home Access Center is a website that the district uses to share students' transportation information. We use it to share your students' course schedules, so what classes they're in and the names of their teachers. We also use it for attendance information. And then we also use it for parent family contact information. So we always want to stress to families to make sure that we have your correct cell phone and also your correct email so we can accurately contact you. And we also use Home Access Center for students' grades, but we only use Home Access Center for students' grades in grades 6 to 12. In grades K to 5, we use a different application called Progress Book, and we'll be doing a training next week on Progress Book. But still, everyone K to 12 will use Home Access Center again for transportation information, for your course schedule, attendance information, and parent contact information. All right, so real quickly, we just want to really emphasize the importance on why you should use Home Access Center. So I think the first reason is student safety. So it's really important that we have your correct contact information, so cell phone and email, so we're able to better contact you. We also use the information that is in Home Access Center for our district mailers. So from time to time, the district does send out mailers, and I actually have a copy of a mailer that we've done, and we use the home address that we have on file that's in Home Access Center. So it's really important that your address is also correctly up to date. Second, I think probably the other thing that makes Home Access Center beneficial for families is that you're able to see helpful information like your student's schedule, their teacher's name, as well as contact information for teachers, as well as bus transportation information. So we're going to go to our next screen. So probably the first question is, where do I access Home Access Center on the district's website? So the first thing you're going to want to do is come to colonialschooldistrict.org. And then what you're going to do is you're going to locate where it says Parents. And you're going to notice there is a Home Access Center button. So I'm going to select that. And let me kind of explain what you're going to see in front of you. So to access Home Access Center, you're going to just simply click this link. So I'm going to open this up. And if you have your username and you have your password, this is where you're going to enter it. But I just want to make you also aware, if for whatever reason you're unable to find your Home Access Center password, if you select this link here, what we recommend first is, if you've ever signed up for Home Access Center, you can actually do a password reset by clicking this link. So let me just open this up and kind of show you real quickly. This is where you would put your email address. So let me zoom in a little bit there. You would enter your email address, you would select Colonial, and then you would hit submit. And what will happen is you'll get an email to your email account from Aaron Rosen, and it'll have a link for you to do a password reset. If you don't get that, email, it's because we don't have an email on file for you. So what you'll do instead is, on this same form, instead of clicking this link like we just did, what we're going to ask that you do is enter in your email address, select your student's school, enter in your phone number, your first and last name, your address, your student's last name and first name, grade that your student's in, and then your student ID and date of birth. And what we'll do is we'll reach out to you with your Home Access Center username. All right, so now let's do a quick overview of really some top tips that we find helpful to share with parents on how to actually navigate Home Access Center. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this link so I can access Home Access Center. So I'm going to select Colonial from my drop-down. I want to click Sign In. And then let's just go through. The nice thing about Home Access Center, it's relatively easy to navigate, which is what's nice about it for parents. This is my account that I have for my own student, and I'm just going to show you some top tips for navigating Home Access Center. So let's kind of go through those slides. So the first thing you're going to notice is that Home Access Center, it's tab based, and think of tabs when you think of like a file folder. So there's a home tab, then you have your attendance tab, you have a classes tab, you have a grades tab. Now my student is in elementary, so again, remember, students in K-5, we use a different application that we'll talk about next week called Progress Book. And then you also have a registration field. Pretty easy to navigate. All right, so let's go to our second tip. So the second tip is really, we want to make sure that you check and update your registration information. So making sure your email and your cell phone and work phone is correct. The one caveat though is if your home address is wrong, what we're going to ask that you do is contact your school's main office. But to update your email or update your cell phone, if we come to this registration tab, you're going to notice on the far right hand side I have an edit tab, so I'm going to select that, and then let me move this over. This is going to give me the information that the school district has on file, both my cell phone and both my email address. So if you have a new cell phone number, please update that in this field. And you can also see there's other phone numbers, and you can fill that out as well. And additionally, make sure that the email that's listed here is your correct email. If it's not, enter in your new email in this field here, and then in the upper right, just click save. All right, so I'm just going to hit save. All right, so that's tip 2. Tip 3 is really how would I change my account password. So if you ever want to change your password, if you take a look right here in the upper right, if I click my name and then I click my account, this will bring me to a window where I can reset my password. So if I want to change that, I can certainly do that here. And the last tip, I think, which is helpful for parents, again, tab-based. When you go to the Home tab, this is going to give you a nice preview of your student's schedule. And one of the things that I like about this view is it gives you your student's teacher's name. So, for example, if you wanted to send an email to any of your students' teacher, let's say, for example, I wanted to send an email to my student's art teacher, I can click this link here, and as you see, I have my email pop up, and then I can send an email to that teacher. All right, so I think that's a nice little tip, and I think we're almost done. Yep. And so again, Home Access Center, pretty easy to navigate. Again, tab based. You've got your home screen, which gives you your student schedule. You have your attendance field, which will show you your students' attendance for the school year. Classes will show you the same thing that we just went over. It shows you your student schedule. Grades is going to depend on whether your student's a K-5 student or a 6-12 student. And then last, the registration, which is probably the most critical, making sure that we have the correct cell phone and we also have the correct email for you on file. And really, that's it for the preview on using Home Access Center. We wanted to make these screencasts a little bit shorter. And the last thing I want to share with you is we share all of our training information that we do each week on Parent University. So if you're ever unable to make one of our sessions, if you go to colonialschooldistrict.org, click Parents, and then right here where it says Parent University, this website houses all of the videos from all of our sessions, including all of the resources that we have prepared for families. So you'll notice there's a little link here, and if I open that up, that's going to open this page up. And if you scroll through this document, you will see that each week And I'm going to go down to this week. But you'll notice each week we share the video once it's ready to go. We share the presentation, so you can click here and you can see the presentation that I just shared on my left side of my screen. And then we also share some helpful resources. All right, we hope that you found this session helpful. As always, if you have any questions or any needs, definitely come to the top of this document, and you're going to notice we have a Family Ed Tech form, and if you select that form, if you have a question, we are monitoring it, and we will get back to you as quick as possible. All right, have a good evening.